Hey, everybody. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new here. And today I just want to talk about anything that's worth having requires effort. And I was talking to a friend earlier today, and that's kind of what inspired me to touch on this topic. We had talked several weeks ago, and she was struggling with eating food. She had developed some very controlling behaviors around food, almost borderline anorexic obsessive. And I asked her, I said, "So what do you think is underlying that?" She recently had started using one of the weight loss drugs and just kind of spiraled from there. And what happens a lot of times is we will shift our focus to something and we over focus on it because we don't want to look at something else. So I asked her, I said, "Well, what do you think's underlying that?" And she said, I've been working on stuff with my counselor. I don't think there's anything. I don't know." So today we were talking again, and I said, "Hey, I've got a little hint for you. What area of your life feels out of control?" "What do you mean?" And I said, "You are working so hard to control your food because that's within your ability to manage. You are focusing all your energy on controlling your food because somewhere, some part of your life feels out of control. What part of your life is it?" And mind you, I already knew. I already knew because she told me. She told me last time we talked, work was overwhelming. Well, work is one of those things that we're kind of obligated to do something in our lives to produce income. And you can easily start to feel trapped and like you have no options if your ability to maintain your lifestyle and support yourself relies on that job. Well, it's not the only job in the world, but that not being the point here. So I said, where do you think, that's coming from? What part of your life is so out of control?" She was like, "It's work. Work has been overwhelming. There's just so much to get done and it's not letting up." And I was like, "Okay, so maybe that's an area to look at." Because once we look at where we actually feel out of control, what part of our life really needs our focus and attention to correct whatever is causing the problem. In this case, it's a work scenario where A, it's not the only job out there. Anytime that you trade your peace for a dollar, you're going to feel out of control. Uh, in this situation, there's no work life balance. There is a lot of pressure and it's a high stress environment. So, obviously, all of those combined, along with the fact that it's a very it's a type of work that pulls emotionally. Um, she's a beautiful person. She has a very big heart, and I know that that takes a lot out of her because she really cares about what she does. So, with this part of her life spiraling out of control, she was looking for somewhere to exert control, and we all have our ways of doing that. Sometimes we look for an area of our life to be out of control so that we don't have anything left to focus on the part that really needs our attention. For instance, and it's just an easy one, alcohol, addictions. When we are so focused on when can I get my next drink? When is my next cigarette break? Oh my gosh, I really want to have that Twinkie, but I shouldn't have that Twinkie, but I want that Twinkie because our mind is so busy thinking about those things that it takes us out of the moment of discomfort about where we're at, what our current reality looks like to us. Is it feeding us or is it stealing from us? Where do we need to stop the stealing? And in her situation, it's her work. She really had she didn't see options for changing her work situation, and so she focused all of her control on the food, and what triggered that was because she had recently started weight loss shots, and was getting really wrapped up in the progress and this and that and the other. And also, apparently, one of the side of there are mental health side effects to the weight loss drugs, which leads me into the next part of what I wanted to cover, which is that anything worth having takes effort. So I told her, I said, look, uh, I hate to break this to you because I know you've already invested quite a bit in the weight loss treatments you've been undergoing, but weight loss is free for real. You don't have to pay to lose weight. So I explained to her, I said, you can lose weight for free. And the only problem there is that it requires discipline, it takes time, and it takes a lot of effort. And generally speaking, we balk at the idea of commitment on that level to ourselves. Why? I'm like, look at your commitment to your job. Look at the level of commitment you have given to your employment. And yet, when it comes to you, something that you desire for yourself to improve your health, that's too much. That takes too much. I'm like, how badly do you want to lose weight without losing your mind? And I said, by the way, keep this quiet or Ozempic's going to go bankrupt. If everybody finds out that you can lose weight just by changing your habits, nobody's going to spend money like that. But when we invest in ourselves and we commit to improving ourselves on whatever level, weight loss, growth, learning new skills, creating better relationships, learning better communication, anything that we do, it does take effort. But the reward for that is that we value what we've achieved. We have pride in the fact that we have been able to accomplish our goal. You can't buy that. That is not a side effect of taking a shot. However, apparently mental instability is, whereas the lifestyle that would promote healthy weight loss also promotes a healthy body, a healthy mind, a healthy soul. Those are excellent side effects, right? So I was having a good time with this conversation because she's really fun. She's very hard on herself, and I can relate to that. So, we ended the conversation with the agreement that she's going to be intentional about being good to herself. And, but it just triggered in my mind, like, I want to share that. I want to share that because one, she's a beautiful person, and I love that her story could inspire others. And I think she would too. But when we commit to ourselves, and another side effect of that being, once she has committed to the weight loss and improving her mental health and improving her physical health, she's not going to want to put up with the bullshit from her job. So she's going to put in the effort and commit to herself to either A, approaching her management and letting them know that, look, this is too much. There's no work life balance. This is taking the joy out of my life. And we're going to have to come up with some other agreement because I need time outside of here for my sanity. Or if that doesn't work, put in the effort and commit to finding a place that respects her as a human being and not just an employee number that needs to produce at the expense of her well being. So that's where I wanted to go with this today because it's so easy. We do make commitments outside of ourselves almost more readily and more deeply than we commit to our own well-being and happiness. And we'll put effort into something outside of ourselves, even other people's happiness, and leave ourselves hanging. And it's time to say no more. Intentionally love yourself enough to say no more. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to take a pill to solve my problem. I'm going to get to the root of it and I'm going to change the behavior that's causing the issue instead of trying to cover it up with a band aid. I'm not going to allow other people to cross my boundaries and suck up all of my time and energy so I have nothing left for myself. No more. It stops here. Actually, center road signs. 'Cause I told her, I said, "I've been down that path and I know the way, but I don't wanna steal your growth opportunity." And so it was a long conversation, and I just kept asking questions, and I actually literally sent her pictures of road signs. Dead end, no through traffic, stop, turn right. Follow those road signs in your life. If you're coming up on something that does not feel good, that is not working for you, that is taking away from your joy and your ability to have the life that you deserve, to have some happiness, some freedom, growth, say no more. Stop. Turn it around. Commit to you. And put that energy back into you. We keep pouring it outside of ourselves, pouring it outside of ourselves. The next thing you know, you're empty, you're drained, and you feel stuck. And when we feel stuck, that's when our body starts to produce all the stress hormones. We get into the fight or flight. And then we don't even have the stability mentally to make decisions because we've got ourselves so worked up, we can't think straight. We're exhausted. There's nothing left. So please, today, whatever that thing is for you, make the commitment to yourself that today is the last day. We're not doing it tomorrow. We're not doing it this weekend, not next week, today. I'm going to take one step. One step. I'm going to come up with one point of action that I can put in place, that I can act on today to start changing the things in my life that are out of balance, to start taking actions that are loving to me. Commit to you. You're worth it. So I hope this helps, and I will talk to you soon.